Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Harida binti Jaikal. I am from section 54. Okay, today I want to present about compensation management. Okay, this is my part is introduction. Compensation means something such as money given or received as payment or reparation as for a service or loss. Compensation may be defined as money received in the performance of work, plus the many kinds of benefits and services that organizations provide their employees. Compensation includes direct cash payments, indirect payments, in the form of employee benefits and incentives to motivate employees to strive for higher levels of productivity. Compensation administration is one of the most important areas of human resource management because sound compensation policies, programs, and their effective executive are essential to pursue, maintain, and develop the human resource of the organization to get effective results from them. It involves the selection, designing, development, and direction of programs designed to implement compensation or incentive policy through financial rewards. Pampasan ini bermaksud seperti uang yang diberikan atau yang diterima sebagai pembayaran atau pembaikan. Selain itu, pampasan juga boleh didefinisikan sebagai uang yang diterima dalam prestasi kerja, ditambah banyak jenis faedah dan perkhidmatan yang diberikan oleh organisasi kepada pekerjanya. Selain itu, pentadbiran pampasan adalah satu bidang pengurusan sumber manusia yang paling penting kerana dasar program pampasan yang baik dan pelaksanaannya yang berkesan. Dan ini melibatkan pemilihan, perancangan, pengembangan, dan arah program yang dirancang untuk melaksanakan pampasan atau insentif melalui ganjaran keuangan.
Discussion of issue ataupun perbincangan isu. First is tax reform and executive compensation over the long term. The tax reform may be positive for companies as the corporate tax has been reduced 35% to 21% and a more balanced approach has been established for the treatment of foreign profit. Ataupun maksudnya reform cukai dan pampasan eksekutif dalam jangka panjang. Pembaharuan cukai akan menjadi positif bagi pekerja syarikat karena kadar cukai corporate telah dikurangkan dari 35% menjadi 21% dan pendekatan yang lebih seimbang telah ditetapkan untuk perawatan asing keuntungan. The second is internal pay equity. Gender pay inequity was becoming a key focus in 2016 and early 2017 when many companies received shareholder proposal 4% of the Fortune 100 in 2016 and 12% in 2017 related to the issue, and the harassment scandal across political and corporate America further highlight the focus on equal pay in the workplace. Ataupun maksudnya equity gaji dalam dalaman ketidakseimbangan gaji gender menjadi tumpuan utama pada tahun 2016 dan awal tahun 2017 apabila banyak syarikat menerima cadangan pemegang saham 4% daripada Fortune 100 pada 2016 dan 12% pada tahun 2017 yang berkaitan dengan isu ini. Dan skandal gangguan di seluruh Amerika Serikat, politik dan corporate lebih menonjolkan fokus pada gaji yang sama di tempat kerja. Okay, the third is pay for performance and GAP. Beginning this year, Institutional Shareholder Service ISS is going to incorporate an analysis of relative generally executive accounting principle financial performance into their pay for performance tests. The analysis will compare financial performance vs peers based on 3 to 4 key metrics over a 3-year period. Ataupun maksudnya bayar untuk prestasi GAAP bermula pada tahun ini. Institutional Shareholder Service ISS akan memasukkan analisis prestasi keuangan prinsip perakunan yang diterima umum GAAP ke dalam ujian gaji untuk prestasi mereka. Analisis akan membandingkan prestasi keuangan berbanding rekan sebaya berdasarkan 3 hingga 4 metrik utama dalam masa 3 tahun. Oke. Number 4 is CEO pay. One of the challenge with the CEO pay ratio for the inaugural year of disclosure is not knowing how your pay levels for the median employee. Your methodology used to calculate the ratio and your CEO pay will compare to peers. In this proxy seasons, a lot of information will be available to help put the CEO pay ratio into a relative context. Bermaksud, nisbah gaji CEO salah satu cabaran dengan nisbah gaji CEO untuk tahun pertama pendidikan adalah tidak mengetahui bagaimana gaji dan tahap untuk pekerja. Median metodologi Anda digunakan untuk mengira nisbah dan nisbah gaji CEO Anda akan dibandingkan dengan rekan sebaya. Pada musim proxy ini banyak maklumat akan tersedia untuk membantu meletakkan nisbah gaji CEO ke dalam konteks dan relatif. Oke. The last is total shareholder return and incentive pay. The use of total shareholder return as a standalone performance measure in performance share plans is one the decline in our database of 100 large cap companies. We found that 40% of companies used TSR as a stand-alone metric in 2007, 2011, but only 9% did in 2016. Maksudnya jumlah return pemegang saham dan gaji insentif penggunaan jumlah return pemegang saham sebagai ukuran prestasi yang tersendiri dalam rancangan pembagian prestasi semakin menurun. Dalam pangkalan data kami mengenai 100 bagian prestasi syarikat topi besar, kami mendapati bahwa 40% syarikat menggunakan TSR sebagai stand-alone metric pada tahun 2011, tetapi 9% yang menggunakannya pada tahun 2016.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Rasufi bin Jasleman. I'm from section 54. Now I'm here, I want to present about my part is challenge. Number 1, form of pay employees pay begin with cash base and bonus pay, but may also contain non-cash form of compensation. The valuation of non-cash compensation is often most difficult for employees to appreciate, but it offers the most opportunity for creativity on the part of the organization. Number 2, underlying pay philosophy. All organizations pay according to some underlying philosophy about job and the people who do them, say KP Kancana, a professor at CFAI National College in Bhopal, India. Compensation program must consider and value the work of those who provide internal support to the organization as well as those who directly impact financial results. Number 3, employees' incentive and compensation pay for performance has become increasingly popular. Companies use compensation to reward and boost the morale of high-performing employees, but also to motivate underachieve. Number 4, last, presentation of compensation. How a manager speak regarding pay can inadvertently create ill will when the intention was to deliver good news. It is important to use specifics when speaking with employees rather than categories any pay increase as good significant of some other qualifier. Thank you.
Hi guys, my name is Sitin Terawati. So today I want to present my part is the challenge of salary structure. So the four labor codes subsume 29 legislation. The purpose of each of these regulation was varied, and hence the definition of wages under many of these regulation was also different. The codes aimed at unification, simplification, and consolidation of this regulation, and hence have a common approach, which includes having a uniform definition in this significant change. And while the intent of having a singular approach is welcome, it will mean the industry needs to analyze and understand the impact of the same under each of these subsumed legislation. The term wages as defined under the codes today envisage that all remuneration provided to the employee is to be considered and is subject to certain specific exclusions such as statutory bonus, conservancy allowance, travel concessions, housing benefits or house rent allowance, contribution to PF and pension, overtime commission, etc. The aggregate of this inclusion is limited to 50% of remuneration, and hence the wage of as ultimately can calculate will be at least 50% of total remuneration. Surely that the intent of the codes is to ensure that contribution to PF gratuity payouts etc. are met on at least 50% of the total remuneration. So my second part is conclusion. So what have I learned from this extensive and to us exhausting review of the minimum wage literature? It is only fair to the possible equally exhausted reader that we briefly summarize our findings and provide some but not too many comments about the implication of this result. We include some comments about implication for the minimum wage as a tool of policy, and about how economists go about studying controversial topic. Evidence leads us to conclude the moderate increases in the minimum wage are a useful means of raising wage in the lower part of the wage distribution that has little or no effect on employment and hours. This is what one seeks in a policy tools. Solid benefits with small costs. The said current research does not speak to whether that same result will hold for large increase in the minimum wage.